Hello everyone, and welcome back to Liz Kitchen. Today, today we are going to prepare a very delicious homemade buttermilk biscuits. So you are looking at a pan right here that I'm going to mix it in. A strainer for my flour. Okay. Also have my flour, and I'm using self-rising flour. Okay, and I'm using that because with that you don't have to add in yeast and whatever you need to make it fluffy. It's already in it. So I'm gonna only add my buttermilk, of course, some baking powder, and a little bit of sugar and salt just for taste. So when you do add your butter or whatever else you need to eat with it, or you can just eat it plain and enjoy it. All right? So let's get to this and get baking. My oven is already being preheated to 425. Um, so we are ready to go. Let's get started. First, we're going to get our flour, all right, all shifted up because you do want to make sure it doesn't have, um, big clumps in it. So let's get it strain it out. Measurement wise, um, you can put 2 cups. I don't measure it. Only thing I control how much milk and butter I'm going to put in it. If you want it um, soft, soft, you can add more buttermilk to it. Just don't make it too much to it that it's just, you know, too soft that the dough, when you try to cut it, it's too soft that you can put into your container. Otherwise, the self-rising flour will do the trick for you. And yes, you can get any name brand of it. Don't have to be expensive. If it's self-rising, use it. If you prefer a certain brand, that's your choice. Okay. You see, this is already good to go. You don't have to do too much of shifting, cause. Alright. Yep. And I'm gonna leave a little bit here that I can um, put on my cutting board so that it won't stick. So look at that. Yes, it's good to go, and you can see that it's, it's just flaky, flaky. It's just soft and nice. All right, so I'm not sure how many, but I do want to do like 8 of them. So if it's more, that's fine. Of course, biscuit. Everyone loves my biscuits, so when I made it, it won't last. I'll just go ahead and make enough. Okay, look at that. Okay. All right, so it's good to go. Now, I'm just put a little, um, make a little hole in the middle so we can add in the other ingredients. Right. Okay. Now, I'm just going to put in a little bit and not too much. Like I said, I want to make it sweet. So I'm adding a little bit of sugar. You can do powdered sugar. I'm just doing regular sugar in this. Just a little bit. I'm also going to be adding baking powder, even though it's self-rising, but I want it soft. And you know, when you're baking, try to put in that baking powder. I'm going to use the sifter also. Okay, and like I said, just 1 teaspoon of it. 1 teaspoon of the baking powder, and of course, I'm going to sift that into my flour. There you go. Next, I'm going to add in some butter. I use butter, and you can use margarine, but I use the butter. And let's go ahead. It's kind of soft, so I would normally griddle it in there, but since it's soft, so I guess I let it sit out there. I'll refrigerate it a little bit too long. So I'm just going to just do pieces in there. That's fine if you use the chunks. You can melt it also if you want to. You should have the same result. Okay, just cutting up my butter. It's a little bit too soft, so if you leave it in the refrigerator right before you use it and take it out, it should be okay. So trust me, you're still gonna get the same results. So don't stress yourself. All right, and like I said, I do have buttermilk, so I'm adding in the buttermilk. I'm not going to measure. I'm going to pour it right in there. Okay, and I'm going to stir it. If I need more, then I'm going to add in more of the buttermilk. When you first start with the buttermilk, put a little bit. If you need more, you add more. You don't want to put too much to start with, and then you have to add more flour. Okay? It's okay. A little bit at a time. Same with the flour. If you put too much buttermilk, then yes, you can go ahead and add more flour. Don't stress yourself. This is easy as ABC. If you do have or mixer and you want to put in a mixer, you can do that too. Here, I prefer to mix it up. Okay, this is how I want it to be. There you go. Not too wet. You can still see chunks of butter. And yes, that's okay. See that? As long as you don't see nothing dry, you're good to go. Okay, there we go. It's gonna be buttery biscuit. we go. So we gonna get ready to start cutting some biscuit. Before I do that, I'm going to butter my biscuit bowl. But this is it. Not too dry, not too wet. Okay? All right. There go my biscuit bowl. I'm going to use that. And yep, butter mine. Using regular butter. Same butter I use. Everyone like get their own preference in butter. As long as it's butter. And yes, margarine is fine too if you like margarine. Okay, it's butter biscuit. Good to go. All right. Make sure your hand is clean when you start, because, yeah, you will be using your hand a lot on this one. Okay, all buttered up. I'm going to be using here for my biscuit dough. So I'm just kind of wiping it off a little bit. Dry it up. Okay. Now, let's get started. When you butter your biscuit, I forget to tell you what I normally do when I butter my biscuit, because I like my biscuit tasty. I normally will add a little bit of sugar on into my pan, right? This is sugar, and I will just kind of strainer it on top of my butter. Some people will put flour, but I put sugar on there. You can put flour, or you could just leave like that, but trust me, you're gonna love this. You know when you eat your biscuit and the bottom of it, you get to the bottom and start eating it, and you taste that sweetness. Yes, you're gonna love that. Put a little bit of butter right here, baking flour. Okay, and we're gonna get started with biscuit. All right. So there we go. Put that on there. Make sure your hand have flour on it, so yeah, you don't get stuck with flour on your hand. Okay, I'm putting a little bit of flour on top of this also, and yeah, because you get flour on the thing, you want to okay, it's good to go. See that? want to play with your dough too much and get it hard, then you're gonna have some tough biscuits. So you want to just kind of a little bit pivot, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna do with it. And then, all right, guys. So let's continue. We going to go ahead and put a little powder on top of this flour, and I'm going to roll it. And yes, and I'm also going to be using uh, this little glass right here as my biscuit cutter. Okay, make sure it's not, the ends is not too round. Make sure it's kind of pointed, it's sharp, because you want your biscuit edge to be cut into the dough, and not too, you don't want it to for the end of the glass to be rough. And yes, you can use a biscuit cutter, but I don't have that right now. Okay, so some big fluffy biscuit. So I'm not going to make it too flat. I'm going to also be using my flour on the side that I can just put the glass into it and cut my biscuit, right? See that? Put enough here. Okay. So a smaller biscuit, they're not too big. And make sure it's touching other biscuit, so you can have the sides will be nice, and yep, make sure they touch it. And you can see, you see butter chunks into that. You can still see some butter chunks. Sorry. Alrighty. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to make another little bow, and just go ahead and put it other in another baking bowl because I think I have too much for my little plate over here. I'm doing this to put at the end of my biscuit. Just a little. Alright, so there we have it. My biscuit is good to go. Let's see. Alright. Yeah. So I'm going to put this into the oven. First of all, let me put this on the side. Alright. So that's it. And let me tell you, always get a little bit of butter and just spread it over your biscuit so you can have nice buttery biscuit, right? All right, so get my little butter here, just kind of put on the top. Okay. All right, let's put this in the oven and we will be baking for 13 to 15 minutes. And like I said, temperature is 425, preheated. So let's keep going. And we will see you back in 15 minutes. All right, so our biscuit is ready. Yes, 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 yes. It's ready. And just look at that beautiful, beautiful biscuit. Woo! All right, so this is what I normally do. You see my little mix right here? This is butter, brown sugar, and cinnamon. Okay, I normally mix them up together. If you want, add honey. If you don't want to add honey, that's fine. Brown sugar. It's enough because I don't like it too sweet, so just put a little bit of brown sugar. And I also would put a little bit of cinnamon. Okay, and there we go. And now we just put it on top. Make your biscuit brown on the top. With that brown sugar and the cinnamon. So I would do half, and the half I'm going to leave plain. All right. Sometimes not everybody in here would like the brown cinnamon sugar. So, but I will make sure this part of it is very sweet. And yeah, so I'm doing half of it with the brown sugar, cinnamon brown sugar, and I'm doing the other half just plain. So let's try this. All right. All right, so as you can see, it's a very small biscuit. It's not big. I didn't use the big cutter. You can see the texture is very soft. All right, and let's open it up. There you go. Soft, very soft. Yep, you can see. And I'm gonna try this. Then, mm, 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 mm. Crispy on the outside. And inside, the more we put the sugar at the bottom, sugar is very good at the bottom. So, yep, you can't mess up with these ingredients. Okay. Like I said, if you put too much buttermilk, just add more flour. It separates the flour, so you won't go wrong. All right, there you have it. Mm, mm, mm. If this is your first time, please subscribe to my video. I will upload, and I do upload video once a week.
sometimes twice a week. So, yeah, I appreciate you watching, and subscribe, thumbs up, the bells, and leave me comments. I would appreciate that. And I will see you on my next video. Thanks again for watching.